Anfernee Simons has been traded to the Boston Celtics. 2 videos ago, I said that the Celtics were likely going to trade Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis. So today we're going to talk about the deal that was done between the Celtics and the Blazers. Boston got Anfernee Simons and 2 second-round picks in exchange for Jrue Holiday. I think it's a great deal for the Celtics because they get a 20 points per game scorer who's only 26 and has 1 year left on his deal. My guess is they're going to extend him because he's on the exact same timeline as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and he's a very prolific scorer who spent several seasons playing alongside Damian Lillard. You can see how much he's learned from him, not afraid of the moment and a good 3-point shooter. Let's go over some of his stats from last season. He shot 36.2% on corner threes and 36.5% on above the break threes, averaging 8.5 3-point attempts per game, which fits in really well with the Celtics playstyle. As we know, they like to stretch the floor with a 5-out offense and they take so many threes per game. He's also a decent playmaker as a shooting guard, just like Jrue Holiday, who plays both point guard and shooting guard, as Simons averaged nearly 5 assists per game last season on 2 turnovers, so an assist to turnover ratio of 2.5 compared to a 2.04 ratio the previous season, so he's being more careful with the ball, which is great to see. He'll provide a much needed boost on the offensive side of the ball while Tatum recovers from his Achilles injury. Overall, I rate this move an 8 out of 10 for the Celtics. They know they're not going to be contenders next season, so why be a second apron team with expensive contracts? And getting a relatively young player who can score and shoot is the cherry on the cake. Let's talk about the Blazers now. I'm struggling to understand why they agreed to this deal. For a team that's rebuilding, what do they gain from bringing in a 34-year-old guard who's owed over $104 million over the next 3 years? I mean, maybe they'll trade him to another team like they did 2 years ago when they traded Dame to Milwaukee. But let's be honest, the Blazers have been a bit of a mess since parting ways with Lillard. If we look at their team, they're coming off a 36-46 season, finishing 12th in the Western Conference. What's kind of surprising is how many good players they have. Of course, there are no star players, unless you think Jeremy Grant or DeAndre Ayton are stars because they make $35 million. And now, they get a third guy who makes roughly the same amount of money. So it seems to me there are 2 options as to what they do with these 3 expensive contracts. They either trade one of Jrue Holiday, Jeremy Grant or DeAndre Ayton, which would be DeAndre Ayton in my opinion, because there is no way they're extending him and he's entering his final year on his deal. Or they fully believe that they'll make the playoffs in hopes of getting the young guys, namely Toumani Camara, Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, Deni Avdija, some valuable playoff experience, just like the Pistons this year, who brought in vets such as Tobias Harris, Tim Hardaway and Malik Beasley in 2024. The Blazers also have the 11th pick in the draft, so do they keep it or do they include it in a potential trade with another team? So overall, this trade makes a lot of sense for the Celtics, who are preparing for the next couple of seasons and getting rid of big contracts. On the other hand, the Blazers acquired a 2-time NBA champion who can maybe help them to get to the play-in tournament or even the playoffs, and like I said, help the young guys develop. Thanks for watching this video, and if you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe.